the late night live again on a Saturday night. Just dropping in to say hi to you guys, see how your week has been, and let's catch up. So, who's here? Welcome. I did get myself set up properly, so I won't have all kinds of sounds going off. So, how you guys been? I'd like to hear from you. So, I promised you that Gunnar is going to play guitar for you tonight, and that's the plan because he's been working on something really, really nice. I'm just like trying to understand how this is. Oh, hi, Bella. Okay, nice to see you. I still feel like such an old lady every time I come on here. I'm like so confused. Like, well, what does this button do? Is it working? So, guys, I just wanted to give you an update. Well, first of all, hey, it's really hot. How are you doing, Bella? It's officially summer here, I think, today. I went to the park today in Westmount. They were having family day. Westmount is like the rich neighborhood. Hi, Benjamin. Welcome. Westmount is like one of the rich neighborhoods, maybe the richest neighborhood, certainly in Montreal. I like to go there because it's a nice change from the urban poverty in my neighborhood, So I like to sneak into Westmount and enjoy. And they're having a family day today with all their spiffy clothes and their spoiled kids. It was nice, they had little animals, they had ponies and everything. And it's nice to just get out and, be out in the park. It's beautiful. Be out in nature a little bit and see the little animals. Hi, Just Me in Pennsylvania. How are you doing? Well, I'll give you a little update before I get Gunnar in here to play the guitar. So I'm feeling a lot better since I had my implants out, as you know. A lot of things have improved. I'm happy to say that all the pain is still gone, the pain I had in my arms and legs. So, these things are so absolutely toxic. I feel like I need to get the word out, that's why I made so many videos about it. Because I don't think people really understand. Like, they have a black box warning on them right now, as of this year anyway. They're pretty toxic. And I was afraid of the surgery to take them out. But actually, I'm just really glad that I did it. I seem to have survived just fine. And I feel better, but there's one thing that is not gone. Oh, hi, Daryl. And hi, Steve. The one thing that, well, first one, the one thing that's not gone is my boobs. I still have, if you were worried that they were going to be gone, actually, no, look, good. And I have a really good bra, which has like a tiny bit of padding. It's just perfect. And I actually want to show you this underwear because I'm like obsessed. I've got this underwear from La Vie en Rose, and I have this nice bag here, and it's all new, and I want to show it to you. I just highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored or nothing like that, but I just want to show you because it's so good and it's so comfortable. I don't know if you're like me, but I have a lot of trouble finding underwear that works. Hi, Zoe. Yeah, Bella, yeah, they have a black box warning on the implants. And you know what? If you're in the US and you have insurance, a lot of people are able to get them out on insurance if they have breast implant illness. In Canada, we don't have that, at least not in Quebec. It's not covered in Quebec, just FYI, unless you have severe capsular contracture. I think that would be like grade 3 or 4. I think it's grade 4, it has to be. If you have a type that was recalled, like the, I think those like gummy bear, whatever, the ones that cause lymphoma, or if you, have cohesive gel implants. But I mean, other than that, they pretty much they won't cover it. So people had asked me, is it covered on Medicare? It's not. I was honestly, I mean, I don't want to like tell you all the details of my finances, but I was very lucky with how I was able to get the money for that. I did get some help from someone who is anonymous, but somebody did help me pay for it. So that's why, like, I mean, if they hadn't, I would have done it anyway. But I got really lucky because it wasn't covered. And I just feel like, it was really God's will for me. It was God's blessing. The surgeon was right up the street. He's world renowned. I had a really great surgery. My boobs look fine, better than fine. No complications. And somebody helped me out with the payment. So, I feel like it was, I mean, how much more blessed can you get, So I was really quite amazed, actually, because sometimes I feel like I don't know, is God listening to me? You know, you ever pray and you like you want something to happen and then you just kind of feel like, well, how come it's not happening? I mean, not to be ungrateful, but like, could you hurry up a little? And I was feeling a little bit down, and I think with what happened with my implants, I felt so much like God's hand was on the whole thing. It did really boost my faith, you know. Um, so yeah, it's not covered in Quebec, but it, you know, yeah, it worked out. And if you really don't have the means, though, you can get medical financing, but they do charge a lot. But if I hadn't gotten the help from this person, um, well, I would have, you know, I would have found a way to do it anyway. Like, you know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way. Plus, I feel like, you know, my whole life, I was very, very tight and very controlled with my finances. And I never, I mean, you guys know how I live. I still live in this, like people who did YouTube and made some money, like a lot of people like upgraded. I know, even when I was making money, I never upgraded. I still drive an absolute jalopy. The bonus of that is that it's probably never going to get stolen, you know. I live in the same little apartment. I've really like never upgraded. I never got into like buying stuff, but I just kind of feel like lately, I think because my health was getting so bad, I really felt like I was at the end of the road. Um, I started feeling like I don't want to be that person that like works their whole life and just always like deprives themselves and is always like, well, let's save it in case, you know, something happens and I don't have income, like, you know what I mean? Like always just saving for a rainy day and trying to be super careful. Not like I had a lot of income coming in to save, but I was always careful with it, and I felt like I needed to live my life now while it's here. And like last year when I went to Europe, I didn't stay, but I felt really like I felt so bad. And I told you guys this in live. Hi Daryl in Bloomington. Um, that I did the trip because I was like, man, I don't know what's going on with me. No one's taking me seriously. Hi Olivier. But I feel like something's really, really wrong. And I'd been watching some channels of people online who were dealing with serious chronic illnesses, and I realized that like you really have to live life with what's on your heart. You can't live your life for other people, and you can't always be trying to do what's right. You know, you don't want to be like going crazy and blowing all your money in on a wild ride all the time, but at the same time, like just like living the daily, just slogging through your tasks and always trying to be careful. Yeah, and tomorrow is never promised. And it's funny you mentioned that, Beverly, because that was the phrase almost exactly that this one girl on YouTube used. She said, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And I thought, I just had this like epiphany, and I was like, what am I doing? I've been sitting here in my bedroom for like, you know, over 10 years, busting my ass on YouTube. Well, no, not that I don't like being here, and I do love you guys, but the way I was doing it was absolutely grueling. Like I was making these videos that just took like 8 to 12 hours per video just to make it, not including all the research. I mean, the amount of time I was putting into it, and I wasn't really like getting paid for it or whatever. It wasn't like I was making money off it. In fact, a lot of the times, like some of the best videos that I did in the last few years, YouTube straight up took them down for some BS, or they just demonetized them, like the ones I did about China, which I thought was a big deal. I could have said a lot more about China. Maybe I'll mention what happened, but I mean, these days the way it was like anything I said, YouTube just punished me right away. So honestly, that was discouraging, and I just felt like, well, if I work harder and maybe, you know, because my viewers are helping, it's gonna make up for it, and I'm not completely just wasting my time here. But it was just like it was just exhausting and just like soul crushing, and I just felt like I need a change. And yeah, it was rough, and like there's a whole bunch of other things that I don't even want to get into, but there were a lot of disappointments with stuff that happened with YouTube in the last few years. So I had this epiphany. I was like, you know, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. I'm already having all these problems with my health. I know that my audience wants me to talk about news, but really I'd like to start living my life again, like just living my life, and doing like integrating what I'm doing with filming, and just like, you know, make videos about other things. I do like making videos, but I don't like sitting here at this desk, you know, editing for like 12 hours. And sometimes it was like to the point where I was like injuring my shoulders and whatever. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go on on this trip to Europe with my son. I'm actually going to spend some money. I'm going to have some adventures. I'm going to really live my life. Like, when people they make a bucket list, they never say, sit at your desk and work harder. They always say, like, I want to see Greece, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I decided, like, screw it. I'm just going to go do these things, and the news will just have to wait. And you know what? When I got back, it was like I'd lost interest in following the news. I've told you before, I follow a number of people on YouTube who are like giving updates about the pandemic and basically all the data that's coming in regarding what happened, the thing that shall not be named. There's a lot of studies that have been done now. It's not looking good. And I don't even want to get into it, but I do follow that, and I'm just having some sort of smug satisfaction sitting here being like, yeah, I knew that. I just saw a guy today saying the biggest purveyor of disinformation during the pandemic was the U.S. government. That's what he said, because they had said the things that were the most untrue. It was so crazy. They were making statements that hadn't been based on any science. And if you went against them, you were anti-science. And it was like, actually, no, like, where is the science? Like, where is it? And that was coming from the US government, like some things that Joe Biden said famously. Oh, we all know what they said. Anyway, it was really a case of like, what was that? What was that book? Brave New World? Or no, 1984. Where everything is the opposite. So anyway, like, I do still follow that. I'm, like I say, I'm not happy that there's people that have been, there's a lot of like carnage and wreckage in the wake. I'm not happy about that, but I'm just certainly feeling like, yeah, I told you so. And there's Dr. Campbell and the other doctors that I've told you about. Mostly I just follow like the medical end of it. And then as far as the politics go, at this point, I feel like it's such a dog and pony show. Like, what is even the point? I had sort of felt a long time ago, like, they have this elite in America. They're the sort of blue blood royalty. They're the ones who always end up in power. It's all sort of rigged. Even Trump, I mean, people thought like, oh, he's not one of them. But I mean, seriously, the guy's like, what, a billionaire? How can he not be part of it? and I feel like he is, but I'm not quite sure what exactly the psyop is and like what his part is in it. But I don't really think that he was just like an innocent bystander who got roped into this whole thing. I'm pretty sure that he was playing a part, like he's the protagonist or the antagonist or whatever. But I feel like it's all a lot of theatrics, so like, why bother? Because it's 2023 now, so they're gonna start campaigning again, I think. I mean, in my heart of hearts, I'd like to see Biden leave, but I mean, who's going to take over? Seriously, I have not in I don't even remember the last time I think they had a real president. I think they just have like people who are selected. When was the last time that maybe JFK, who mentioned 15-minute cities? Trump? Well, we'll see about those 15-minute cities, because let's say they have a lot of work to do. Oh, wait a minute. Here's something really interesting that I saw recently. You guys know I've talked about Africa sometimes, and I was telling you in the last live, if they want those 15-minute cities and they want this whole system with like the geofencing and all that, and these, that we have to like present a card or an app to go anywhere and everything's under control, they have a lot of work to do. I told you about the e-government readiness survey and the e-government readiness index and what they've been doing in Africa, because Africa is lagging. I mean, not all of Africa, some of it's more, but on the whole, that continent is lagging compared to like Asia and Western Europe and North America. So they had to like get African countries to catch up. And I told you in Nigeria, they had introduced this national identification number because people weren't even registering their babies. So they literally don't even know who they have and where they are. And they're trying to find all kinds of incentives. Oh, backtrack. They did this in India a few years ago. They introduced an ID for everyone, and it contained biometric information. It was a retinal scan. So they had this national ID for the Indian people with biometric information. And they said, well, if you have this, you get access to, I don't know, food handouts or something. Turned out it caused a lot of problems. I can't remember exactly what the problems were, but I think the problem was that not everyone ended up getting it. And so then it was like you literally couldn't get the food subsidies if you didn't have it. Anyway, whatever it was, if you look it up, India's system, it didn't really solve the problem. It just kind of created other problems. So they did that in India, and now they're working on it in African countries, like for example, Nigeria. So national identification number, they said, well, you're going to need it to renew your driver's license or to use even a smartphone, which is like, wow, we don't have to do that. But so they're just trying to find some reason to get people on the grid. They tried a lot of other things. They're like, oh, they tried with the vaccines. Actually, they said, look, if you get this vaccine, then you're going to, get access to some subsidy or some food or whatever. Or if you sign up for this, you'll get vaccines and medical care. Like they've tried to go that route, but it wasn't enough. So then now they're like, well, if you don't do it, you can't use a phone or have a driver's license. This is what they're doing in Nigeria. I mean, I think that that's huge. It says something about where they are at and what they're doing. So they still have all this groundwork to lay. But recently I saw some footage from, I think it's Kenya, where the Maasai are. Hi, Matt, the vegan. So the Maasai, are tribal people. They farm cattle and they live in these little, what do they call it? They have a name for their, well, I can't remember the name, but they have a special name for these little sort of communities that they live in. Boma, I think. Maybe it's called a Boma. Well, they live on these lands that have been their ancestral lands for, probably thousands of years. And they hunt there and they take care of their animals. And the government was like kicking them off, reclaiming these lands for themselves and kicking them off. And there was footage that showed up on Telegram. They were literally shooting at them. So they're not done, I think that they're trying to push people into areas where they can control them more. I mean, I'm not sure why they would do that. I think they wanted to create it like as a preserve and for, I don't know, they're going to open it up for like sport hunting or something so they can make money. I'm not really sure, but I think that part of the plan will be to like sort of corral people. Talk about 15-minute cities. First of all, you have to get them in the area. In a place like Montreal, you think, oh, that would be easy. It's a city already. Let's just set it up so that everything is monitored electronically and you really just can't go from one place to the other. But it's not realistic. I don't think that's going to be the plan. But like I said, you could make towns, build up the suburbs into 15-minute cities. That's something you could do. With a really big city, I'm not really sure what they're going to do. Because there will be some things that you have to go to the other part of the city. I mean, realistically, what are you going to do? Move everyone around? So, you work at this company, we're going to move you over there. How are you going to do that? People switch jobs all the time. People own homes. You can't just I think they're going to have their work cut out for them if they want to do that. But they might do it in some places like where they don't have this infrastructure, where it's still like earlier. And they could like build it up with that infrastructure built into it as possible. You don't think it's realistic, Beverly? I don't think it's realistic either. I think it's a pipe dream. It would be like way down the road, but I mean, who knows, right? They might surprise us. But I don't think it's going to be like people say. I think they could easily geofence things without it being 15 minutes, though. They've proven that during the pandemic. Our government spent a fortune on even these little, it's like a little post that's unmanned, it's automatic and you have to put your QR code on it or you can't get in. So, I mean, if they can do that, who cares about 15 minutes? They could just geofence the whole place so they can just decide who goes where. I think the 15-minute cities, now that I'm thinking about it, that could be like more of an excuse to just set this kind of electronic geofencing up. Anyway. So that was a bit of a tangent. But yeah, that when I saw that in Kenya, I was like, wow, how could they do that? But yeah, they're working on it. But I mean, somebody brought up 15-minute cities, so there we are talking about that again. But yeah, like I don't really, I don't really follow the news too much lately. I feel like I want to just get out and like do things, and I'm kind of really obsessed with building my sideline as a reseller, honestly, because I'm just so motivated and so passionate. I just discovered this passion that I have for mid-century decorative arts. I'm also trying to sell my mother's clothes that I inherited. Why not? I gave away all her valuables. I mean, she gave them away, when she moved. I got all the clothes, so I might as well try and sell them. But it's really the decorative art stuff that I'm kind of obsessed about. I have a lot of fun doing it, putting a lot of effort into it, and it's like I am making more money, but I'm buying more stuff in the thrift store too. But what it seems like, I'm not buying anything new anymore, hardly, except for this underwear, which I want to show you. But like all my clothes, well, like right now I'm wearing a great pair of these. You may know these shoes. They're so cute. These are expensive. I got them for like $10. So I go to the thrift store, I buy myself some clothes and I buy some things. Hopefully I sell the things. And then it's like I almost got my clothes for free or whatever. All my stuff that I made a post about the fondue. I mean, do we really need it? No, but it was fun. And it was basically free because I sold all the other stuff that I bought. So, but I'm so into it. This is what I was going to tell you. A lot of things have gotten better since I had my surgery, but I'm still having a lot of fatigue, and it's not as bad as before. Like before, I had all this pain. So the pain plus the fatigue was like incapacitating me. I don't have the pain anymore. It's been over a month, so I'm pretty sure that was from my implants, and it seems like it's gone, but I still have a lot of fatigue. I don't know if it's from the implants. I think it might just be because of my sleep disorder with the restless leg syndrome. I think I just never get any decent sleep because my legs are, keeping me up. Thanks, Ben. So the more time is going on, I'm seeing that, yeah, that's not really getting better. Oh, the fondue was a lot of fun. I was so excited about it. I got the plates, the set of the plates, side plates, bowls, a whole set it's for 4 people for $15. I got the fondue pot for like less than 10. The wooden bowl, I inherited that from my mom. And so then, yeah, and the fondue forks from the thrift store. So like we had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Aaron was in pain the whole time, so that's but that's how it is. And Gunnar was on his phone. So like that was the reality, but we still had fun. And there's this Dr. Mobeen Syed. I might have mentioned this to you before, but he said, a lack of novelty can trigger depression. Like if you're always doing the same thing and you're bored and you're kind of miserable, it can affect the hippocampus in your brain, which is also the part that is related to memory. And you can get your brain can get into like a bad cycle where you just start feeling unmotivated and depressed. And he said that one of the best ways to break that cycle was to introduce novelty. And he said new experiences, but it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be anything. And art. He said looking at art. Oh, art actually serves a purpose. It's not just decorative. It serves a purpose for mental health. I never thought of that. And he said you can introduce novelty just by lighting a candle. Anything that makes your brain go, oh, hey, that's different. Oh, what's that? Go into a different part of town. See a different area. Eat a different food. He said also different textures, like crunchiness in your food. Anything that kind of wakes up your brain, that's a good way to break out of the kind of depression that you get from just like doing the same thing all the time, gardening. Yeah. So keeping that in mind, I try to introduce some novelty, and because I'm thrifting, I can get new things for the house that, for me, it's interesting and it's fun. And yes, it's that novelty aspect. And also for the guys, like I could just get a new set of dishes for $15. Before I used to use the same dishes for like 10 years until they were completely falling apart. And that little fondue experience, I was doing it not just because we like fondue, but because I'm doing it for everybody's mental health. They don't know it, but I'm doing that for my son and for Aaron to like introduce novelty. So that's my secret plan, to help them with their mental health. And me, I'm just, I'm hooked on it. Um, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. And if I sell enough, then it sort of pays for itself. So like no harm done. But yeah, I still have the fatigue and it's such a drag. Like today I went to the park and that was nice. And then I came back and I don't know, I did a lot of cleaning and I did the laundry, I made dinner, and I took some really nice pictures of some of my items out in the park. But in between everything, I was just like, oh, I just want to lie down. I just want to sleep. So I'm a bit disappointed that I'm not full of energy. And it's kind of a tricky problem to deal with because it's a neurological sleep disorder. I've told you guys before many times. And I've had it for so many years, and I think it's just taking a toll on me, And there's no like way to get rid of it. Not really. Yeah, I took some B12. I thought that might help, but what I really need is sleep. But no, but Matt, the problem is I can't have good sleep because my brain keeps like having these little bursts of like waking up all the time. Yeah, it's some neurological thing that I got from my pregnancy. And when I had the surgery, I actually had so much energy after because the anesthesia put me in such a deep sleep that my nervous system like stopped twitching for long enough for me to actually get some restorative sleep. And it was like the best sleep I've had in ages. I don't remember last time I had some good sleep like that. And it kind of made me realize like, oh yeah, it really is my legs. It really is that, and it's a really misunderstood problem. I remember, what's his name? That comedian. Oh, God, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name now, but there was a comedian who was making fun of it. He's like, oh, restless leg syndrome. And he was like saying how it's like, what, you're doing a jig. Oh, I'll meet you in Tipperary, like it's a big joke, but it's not because it's, yeah, you can't really get a good reset on the parasympathetic when you've got that. It's like it's almost like if you had seizures, you know what I'm saying? It's like a mini seizure. It's like a little mini baby seizure like every 15 seconds. That's really what it's like. It's not like ADD where you're restless. It's not a psychological restlessness. It's like a little firing in your brain. It's something really neurological. It's not your muscle. It's not a muscle twitch. It's not a cramp. It's neurological. Like I would compare it like to like a little mini kind of like little seizure type thing. And it's really, I don't know how you can ever get any decent rest with that. I need more anesthesia. I was actually thinking like, no wonder Michael Jackson used to get the propofol every night. I could use some of that. That would do it. I wish I could find something that would just make my legs like it's not just my legs, it's my whole body. Just be quiet, let me sleep. Because wow, was that a deep sleep, and boy, did that make a difference. And it was just having even just that, like a few nights there, because the first 3 nights, one day of anesthesia, and I had 3 nights in a row, like it completely stopped. NMN? What's that? I never heard that one before. I've tried everything. I even have Dr. Ho's, I don't know, Dr. Ho's $1 million back scratcher, These things that you buy at Costco, it's like with electrical things, but it doesn't work. Oh no, the Parkinson's drugs, yeah, they work for a while, but then your body gets used to it. Then your RLS gets worse. You have to take more drugs. Then it gets worse. Then it stops working. Wine, no. Alcohol makes it worse. Garlic? Yeah, but Gretchen, it helped you sleep like a baby after you had the measles as an adult. Well, that must have been rough, having the measles as an adult. Oh my God. But this isn't the measles. This is like a totally different thing. I could see how garlic could help you if you had an infection, but this is something else. I know everybody says B vitamins and magnesium, but it hasn't worked so far. It just didn't work. Hi, Red Spiral. Nice to see you. It's weird because Nah, it's not a protein thing either. No. Oh, you're in Mexico. How nice. Yeah, it's weird because it's just this little thing, and I was just like, oh, well, it's not a big deal. I'll work around it. But like over the years, I'm seeing how it's like, when something undermines your sleep and it goes on and on for decades, apparently it almost doubles your risk of dementia. I could see how that would be because if your brain can't ever like have a deep enough sleep. The C60 that you mentioned, I used to take that. Yeah, I had some. They sent me like one bottle and then they sent me another bottle like some time later. And I'll be honest, like it was really good. It did seem to help. I'm not sure how that works, but it did help. It helped a lot of things. I think it was helping like to sort of, I don't know, maybe it was detoxing me or something at the time. That was probably the best that I felt was when I was taking it every day, even though I felt so bad through all those years. And even with the C60, compared to how I feel now, I still feel bad because since I got my implants out, I feel great on the whole. Like I feel so much better. I'm not in pain at all anymore. It's just the sleep, that's the problem. But I don't feel sick anymore. Oh my God, I was so unwell. I was like, I felt nauseous. I had so many problems. Yeah, they said they were going to send me one every month, but they didn't. So I kind honestly, I just like lost motivation to promote their stuff because it was like people weren't buying it and they weren't sending it to me. So I was like, what am I doing this for? Sorry, I can't do it for free. And like people were suspicious, like, because it's what do they call it? Like it's a nanoparticle or something like that. It's very small. And they were like, "Oh, it's nanotechnology. It's no good for you." I don't know. It's something else though. It's not like that. And I liked it. I really did. I found it was great. I found it was really helpful. I had the best sleep when I took lots of it. I felt like I had a really better sleep. I still have a bit left. Yeah, Buckyballs, Buckminster Fullerene. Um, I found it worked. I really believed in it, and it was a bit discouraging. I'll be honest with you guys. I would come here and I would talk about it, and I would try to promote it in my videos, and I get all these negative comments. Like people would be like, "Oh, now you're promoting snake oil," and I was just like, "Oh, whatever. Okay, fine." And since they only sent me two bottles and like nobody was buying it, I was like, "Screw this. I don't need to hear this. Fine, then whatever. Don't buy it. I don't care. I'll buy it." But anyway, so that was that. I feel kind of bad because she's a really nice lady and she was very interesting and she did all this research on crop circles. And I did an interview with her before I went to Europe and I was supposed to edit it. And honestly, she talked about the C60 so much. It was so much work for me to edit it to make it be more about the crop circles and not so much about the C60. I mean, it was fine to like talk about it a bit, but actually I had to edit myself out because I was so rambly, and I was talking about the C60 too, and in the end, it was just so much damn editing that I just like gave up, and then I didn't email her, and I was like, sorry about that, but they didn't pay me to do it anyway, and they didn't even send me a bottle, so I was like, okay, whatever. I wanted to do the interview about the about the crop circles, but I mean, I just couldn't handle that much editing. It was like a 45 minutes of footage, and I had to go through the entire thing and try to reorganize it until it was like presentable. Uh, well, I mean, Matt, they did send me two bottles, but I don't know, man. I feel like I work really hard. People should send me more stuff, like they should pay me or something, but whatever, you know. So Bucky balls, yeah, that's what it was. But it is a good product. I still have the link, but I think that the final straw was like the horribly negative comments, which usually it wouldn't bother me, but it was like people were so rude about it. And, I mean, really, people do so many weird things for their health and beauty. You should see all the TikTok trends. People have snails crawling over their faces and who knows, all kinds of weird creams that people use. Nobody says anything. I try to promote a product that I actually use, and people are like, she's just getting paid to say that. And it's snake oil. It's like, okay, well, don't buy it. But I just got fed up. But I was fed up anyway because I was tired all the time and I just felt like crap because of my implants. It's funny, I heard about Buckminster Fuller before, but I had no idea who he was. I thought it was an unusual name, Buckminster. That's not one you hear every day, you know? It's like an old fashioned. Okay, somebody asked me about melatonin for RLS. In my experience, it makes it worse. Caffeine, no, obviously I can't drink caffeine besides in the morning. Obviously, I will be up all night. It's weird. Did you guys notice, like, when you're in your 20s, you could drink coffee at like 8 o'clock at night and go to bed and it's fine. And then all of a sudden, when you get to like around 45, you drink a coffee at like 4 in the afternoon, you're up till like 6 in the morning. Snail extract soap. Yeah, there's all kinds out there, all kinds of things. Yeah, no, I don't consume any stimulants, and I don't consume a lot of coffee. But I wanted to show you this, okay, because I kept this underwear in the bag, okay? This is for you ladies. I want to tell you, again, not sponsored, not getting paid, but they should pay me, La Vie en Rose. They should, because why not? But no, seriously, this stuff it's the best. I've had so many struggles with underwear. Man, like, I think I bought underwear at La Senza. At one point, I was like, great, it doesn't give me a wedgie. And I just kept buying it for years. And it didn't even fit properly. It was too low on my hips. You know when you've got underwear that, like, look. You know when you've got the underwear that's bikini and it's like, it's here and it's going right in between your love handles and your saddlebags? Well, actually, if you wear underwear, ladies, you wear underwear, or actually maybe men too, anything that's got a tight band, yes, underwear, Red Spiral, I have to tell you about this. You wear something with a tight band and you gain weight, guess what? It comes around it. It will literally deform you. So I used to be about 20 pounds lighter, so I gained the 20 pounds while wearing this underwear, and I got these like bumps, you know? That's what happened, because the underwear wasn't even fitting me properly. It was just too much of like a skinny little band. I've seen this even, you know, those women in Africa who wear like tons of bracelets? Well, when they gain weight, you'll see the fat here and in front, and literally where you have the constriction from the bracelet, it'll be indented. Goes to show, if you put on a waist trainer and gain 20 pounds, you're going to get it like in your booty or like everywhere else, and your waist will be like that. So like, hot tip, you know. But I didn't know this. I found out though. It really does do that. Anyway, I found this underwear at La Vie en Rose, and it's amazing. Look, it's really cute, and it's bikini, but you see how wide this is? The one from La Senza was like this. It was like super like narrow up here, and that would create like a rope, and then it would eventually deform you. You guys are laughing in the comments. Here's my lovely granny underwear. It's so cute. You know what's good about this? Look, it doesn't ride up. It will cover your butt. It doesn't deform you. It's got lace. It's really cute. It's sort of like in between a bikini and a short. It's not real granny underwear would be like if it came all the way up to here, but I like it on the hips. I love these so much, and they have them in different colors. They used to have a lot of different ones. It seems like the selection's a little smaller lately, but like they have it in green. It's cotton, and it's so comfortable. These are a large. It says $9.95, but I got 6 of them for $30. It's cotton. Well, you know what? Let me check what the material is, because I think it's cotton with something stretchy. Does it say? 95% cotton and 5% elastane. So that gives us the stretch. But man, these things fit well. They don't ride up. I have another model that doesn't have the lace. It just has like a little strip, and they are not as good. And look at the cute colors they have. It's so cute. It's got little flowers on it. Can I send them to you in Michoacan? You could probably order them. It's from here. Oh, well, it's going to be backwards, but it's La Vie en Rose. Life in Pink. And look at this one. This one's so cute. What is this? It has like little peaches on it. Or are they oranges? I think they're oranges. Little fruits on it. So cute. Oh, hi, hardcore. Yeah, you showed up at the right time. I'm showing you my underwear, but it's because I have had underwear struggles since like forever. Well, I'm very sensitive, right? I can't stand if anything doesn't feel like absolutely perfect. And then I discovered this and the bras. Look at this. This one's, they're new. Not showing my worn underwear. Sorry. This was 35 bucks. Worth it though. It has no wires. It's soft like a dream. It's so soft. And then it's got pads, but you can take them out. Like there's like a little pocket here, and you can take the pad out if you don't want it. See? And if you do want it, then you get this. You get the boost. My bra's sticking out, but you know what? It looks like a tank top underneath. So yeah. So there's this one. Wait, this is the one. Okay, this one, it's like pretty much a smooth round shape. And there's this one, it's a little bit different. It has, oops, it's kind of slippery. It has, I think, yeah, this one's a little more structured. It's got a pad in it. It's not huge. I can't really like show you, but it's probably about that thick. It's just enough to like give you some boost, but no underwire. And look, no like slidey things on the straps. Like there's none of that, you know, there's like no hard things. There's no closure in the back. No hooks in the back. No slidey thing here. No underwire. Look, this is the most comfortable thing. And it really holds though. And it gives like the nicest shape. It's not like those bralettes that do absolutely nothing, you know? Really good. So I've got two more. I mean, I already have a couple black ones, but I got two more because you know when you find something that's really good, it's better to get more because they're going to discontinue it. They always do. And then you'll be screwed. And then I even got one of these. It's like a pink one, and it goes really nicely with the pink or peach that's in here. I don't think you can see the color super well. And I mean, this is good if you're wearing something that's a light color and you don't want everything to show. Bella, they're so comfortable. They're really absolutely the best. So I had to show it to you. I kept it here just so that I could show you La Vie en Rose. I don't know if you guys have access to that where you are, but these are the best. Seriously, they're so comfortable. And they're cute too. So it's like $30 for 6 undies and $35 for the bra. So for like $100, you could get like 2 bras and 6 underwear, you know? So it's good. That's a pretty good price. So, I was going to get Gunnar to play guitar for you a little bit. Can you believe I'm still doing laundry? I've got Aaron's laundry downstairs. Oh, and mine too. Oh, wait, no. I have mine in, and then I have to put Aaron's, and it's already 11:20. I'm going to be up so late. Yeah, nothing to set off a metal detector in there, in my underwear. I said I gained 20 pounds. Are you accepting the idea of just being slightly overweight? I mean, look, you know, how overweight am I? I mean, look, I think I look pretty good. Hold on a second. I mean, look at this. Come on, you guys. Seriously, I'm short, right? So I think that for my age, for 52, it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I gained 20 pounds, but I think that it looks pretty good. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you know, like, yes, could I go to the gym and be more fit? Yeah, but I was really unwell for the last few years. That's why I wasn't going to the gym. I mean, I don't think I look bad, you know? Like, some people, like, they get upset if they have some chub on their arms. I don't mind at all. I don't care. My arms are a bit, you know. I'm actually glad some of it's here instead of it all being here. I think I look fine. Like, I'm not, it doesn't bother me. I think it's okay. You know, once you go through menopause, your metabolism really changes, and it can be just very, very hard. Like whatever you were doing before, it doesn't work anymore. Like I don't even eat breakfast. I just have coffee. And I do fasting basically from the night before all the way till the afternoon of the next day. And then I get like super hungry at lunch. I have to eat something. Snacking will not do it. But I won't eat that much. I'll have like a bit of toast. Uh, Really, I just maybe often will just have a couple pieces of toast, for lunch. And then I'll eat dinner. And dinner, by dinner time, like I have to eat. I'll have to have like some protein and some vegetables and some carbs. If I try to do keto and just have protein, and I'm not happy, if, you know, Red, are you a woman or a man? I don't know. Or something else. um, how tall am I? I'm only 5'2". I'm a shrimp. Well, yeah, let me know how old you are. But I mean, you guys know, like I used to do videos about fitness and stuff like that. Um, I was able to lose weight. Like when I first was going through menopause and I gained the 20 pounds, I did lose most of it, not all of it. But I was going to the gym like 3 times a week. I was working out really hard. I was also doing keto, and I was really putting a lot of effort into it. I did lose a lot of it. Then what happened was I was homeschooling Gunner, and it was just I had my hands really full, and it just it went on the back burner. Like the only way that I could really exercise consistently and have discipline with it was if I went to the gym. I could not just like walk or go for a run. Every time I walked that way, I ended up in the stores. I went shopping every time. I mean, I'm not kidding. I would go for a walk and I would come back with like bags. I think there's like a side of me that just really likes shopping a lot, actually. And I've always just been very disciplined and not shopped. But if you send me towards the stores, I will shop, you know? The camera angle makes me look taller. Well, I think it's because of the way I'm proportioned, because I kind of have a long neck. People think I'm taller. Oh, you're a 64-year-old woman. Okay. Red spiral. I mean, my mother was really, really, really fit. Even at 80, she was doing exercise. She was like going to these like power pump aerobics classes. But my mother had a very different lifestyle. First of all, she had a lot less stress. She didn't work. They were very well off financially. She had a lot of time to like take care of herself, go to the gym. They had a lot of leisure. She spent a lot of time in Vermont at her property gardening and a lot of vacations. And I just think that the kind of life I have is much more like my grandmother's. My grandmother had to take care of the business and take care of the husband and take care of the kids. And there wasn't any time for my grandmother to go. Oh, thank you so much, Bon Ivers. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. My grandmother lived like I lived. She was a hard worker. She was busting her ass and taking care of people. Yes, she took care of the house. She took care of my grandfather. She took care of the kids, and she worked in the bakery, and she worked on the linen press. And if I think about my grandmother, well, why didn't my grandmother go to the gym? Well, because she was working, you know. And I think that my lifestyle has been more like my grandmother. You know, a lot of physical work, which is fine, you know. But stress can also make you gain weight. I mean, I don't know. Like, is it stressful raising an autistic child almost single-handedly? I think so. I think it was pretty. I felt, you know, like they say that mothers of autistic children go through the same levels of stress as people who've been through combat. I mean, that's what they say. It was very stressful when I was younger. I would say almost it was like, I don't want to use the word nightmare, but it was pretty bad. Like when he was younger, a lot of what was hard was the lack of support, the isolation, and like the constant mother blaming and just the pressure that I was under to turn him into something like presentable and like well behaved. It was really hard, you know. The demands were just like insane. You know, plus being a caregiver. So I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's part of my lifestyle. And then what do I do with my time when I do have some time? I go to the thrift store. But you know why? Because it makes me feel so alive. No, it's not a weed pen. It's just a normal vape. It makes me feel so alive. I'm so passionate about, I get in my car and I drive and I'm so excited to go to the thrift store and I look for special unicorns. It's just what I'm really into. And I'm just so happy doing it. I feel so alive. Now, could I not go to the thrift store and go to the gym? Maybe, yeah, but I don't think I'd be enjoying my life very much. I gotta get Gunner over here. Gunner! Hey, are you ready to come and play some guitar?
Maybe not right now.
What?
In a bit, can I?
Well, don't wait too long because it's getting late. I've already been on here for like 50 minutes. Gunny, you should come in now. Gunny, come. There's a bunch of people here. They'd love to hear you play. Okay. He's been working on something. It sounds really good. Oh, thanks, Bon Ivers. I appreciate it. I'm sort of just doing my thing here. Oh, you guys are Aspie's Red Spiral. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I thought that I knew everything about fitness and weight control because I was really chunky when I was a lot younger. And I actually took a class on weight management. Oh, thank you, Halo Daycare. How did I get so pretty? I got my damn implants out. I think that did the trick. I think it helped my face. It depuffed everything. Yeah, no. Like I got the implants out, but I got a little facelift at the same time. I just didn't tell you guys. I'm just kidding. But it really helped, eh? Like it totally helped my face so much. Yeah, one of the side benefits of getting your implants out. So, what was I just telling you? Oh, I was just telling you something. Oh, yes. I thought when I was younger, I thought I knew everything because I took a class on weight management and I learned all about how to get your heart rate in the right zone and all about the food. Like I took this class in college and I actually lost weight doing that. So then I felt like, well, I've got this under control. I'd never really had a problem with my weight from that time on. I got my weight under control because I was a chunky girl, I was like the fat girl at one point when I was younger. People used to make fun of me at school. They'd say that I should have a sign on my ass that says wide load, It was that kind of situation. I was still cute though. Like, I mean, I was well proportioned, but I was, when I was younger, I was pretty chunky. So anyway, like heavier than I am now. Like I think, because I'm 5'2", so like as a teenager, I think I was close to 160 pounds or so, 155. It's pretty chunky, That's when I was living in the States. Maybe that had something to do with it. Like the food we were eating down there. Maybe it had something to do with it. I'm not sure. Because we had pretty much the SAD, standard American diet, with the waffles and the sausages and all that stuff. And yeah, it wasn't like my parents' European food. But anyway, so then I came back to Canada and then I did take this class and I thought I had it under control. And I did for like a really long time. You guys remember on my channel, I was always skinny. And then I got menopause and I just started gaining weight. And it was like whatever I was doing before, it wasn't working anymore. So I doubled down and I started going to the gym all the time. And I was really disciplined about it. And I went on these keto jags for like months at a time. And it would take forever for me to lose a few pounds. Like I remember I was on keto for almost a year. It took me all that time to lose about 8 or 10 pounds. I was like busting my ass at the gym. I did get some results, but then yeah, when I was homeschooling him, things went on the back burner and the weight all came back. And eventually I just made peace with it. I was like, whatever, I don't really care, honestly. I feel like I look okay. I think that's where the fat acceptance comes in. Like, could I be healthier? Yes. Will I go back to the gym like when I'm fully recovered from my surgery? Yes, I want to be more active, but I'm looking at it more as in I want to be healthier. I want to have better cardio and more strength. If I look at it from the point of view of I want my body to look a certain way, I might start hating myself or hating my body. So it's never good to be at war with yourself. So like I'm okay with being the weight that I am. And I think for someone who's in menopause, a woman who's in menopause, I think I'm not really that overweight. The charts will actually, like the height that you are, 5'2", if I was a teenager, I'd be definitely overweight. But in menopause, they allow a little bit extra because, apparently this is pretty normal. So whatever, who cares, right? Okay, well, I'm waiting for Gunny. You ready? You gonna come in? Okay, I'm gonna make some space here for my little man to come in. One of these days I'm gonna have to show you all the glass that I bought. I did a thrift haul this week. I bought 3 glasses that are about this high with like a round bottom, and they're different colors. And they're really fantastic glasses, but I just bought them for me. And I found 3 that are like Christmas glasses. Where did I put them? I don't even know where I put them. Let me see if they're in here. And oh yeah, they're here. Okay, I'll show you my Christmas glasses while I wait for Gunner. They are so cute. These are vintage. And I mean, yeah, it's not Christmas, but this is a good time to get Christmas stuff. Look how cute they are. Isn't that beautiful? So there's 2 like this, and they look like hand painted. And then the third one is a different kind. But I thought it was pretty cute. So that was my thrift haul. I found a pair of Adidas for Gunner, which he doesn't want, and I have to list them. I already did, actually. A pair of white sandals for me, which I also listed. Well, just in case. I mean, you know, we'll see. I mean, if I sell them, I'll just buy another pair of sandals. Plus these glasses, plus 3 other, 3 of those 3 colored glasses. And also, oh my God, these adorable shot glasses. I just put them away. I found these little shot glasses. They're like this big, and they have gold rim on the top, and they're 1950s. I just listed them on my Poshmark. Wait, I'll give you the link if you want to go see my Poshmark, even if you can't buy anything. I made the most beautiful listings. Okay, I'm going to give you the link. Hi, Gunner. I'm just going to give them the link. Here's the link for my Poshmark.
I've come out with the guitar.
Yeah. Oh, he's dressed like a rock star. I'm going to give you the link so you can see what I posted on there. Get the shot glasses out. Seriously? Well, look, just click on the link for my Poshmark. They're right at the top. They're really, really cute. They have, yeah, gold and also the belly dancer 1950s or mid-century Tom Collins glasses and the cowboy Tom Collins glasses. I put those up on Poshmark too. And I think that was pretty much it. Oh, and then the copper chafing dish or fondue pot, which somebody told me last time, keep an eye out for it. Let me just show it to you, and then Gunner, here, you can take the seat.
Oh, I can't play in that thing. It's got arms up.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, it's like.
Okay, well, hold on. You did last time. Oh, okay, I'll give you another chair. I just want to show them this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you guys said to keep an eye out for an all copper chafing dish or a fondue or whatever. Anyway, I saw this, and I don't remember who told me that, but somebody did. So I just went ahead and bought it. And it's really beautiful, and it is vintage. It's from Portugal. And what's this? You know what? I think there's something missing. I think there's supposed to be... Oh, no, it's there. Oh, no kidding. Oh, this comes through. I didn't even know. Oh, that goes underneath. Oh, I get it. Okay, one of these handle things goes underneath, and then wow, so like the whole thing is there. It's really beautiful, isn't it? They put my weed in it. What, in here? That's a lot of weed. Gunnar, you put your weed in it. So what do you think? It's pretty nice. I mean, I didn't need it, but, you know, and I didn't pay much for it. I think I got lucky. It was one of those BOLO, you know, be on the lookout. In the back of my mind, I was like, maybe one day I'll find one. There it was. So I did what you said. I bought it. It's pretty cool. I'm like not really sure what I would do with it. Not like I have a lot of people over for brunch, but it is really gorgeous, isn't it? I've never seen one like this before. I paid $10. It's worth somewhere between 40 to 100. So, fondue. I think it's like a, you know, warming dish. But anyway, okay, I'll let Gunnar play for you. Hold on, put this away. I'm gonna get the other chair here. Just move over a bit. Move over a little bit, Peanut. Yeah, move that. And, you gotta like really move it. Like move it that way.
Oh yeah.
Careful. Oh, careful. Oh my gosh, it's getting crowded in here. I really need to make some changes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if you guys do want to like sign up for Poshmark, I'm just gonna write the code in here. Use my referral code, okay? You get a $15 store credit. Oh, sorry. I I wrote it in all caps. I hit the wrong thing. Looks like we're super angry. Like, Poshmark referral code, you get $15 store credit. Use Elga's Bazaar. I signed up for Depop today, but that's like a whole other learning curve. But anyway, yeah, here it is. Here's Gunner. Here comes Sit Down Rockstar. Oh yeah, I wanted to let you know, okay, if anybody wants to give him a super chat tip, if anybody gives any super chat tips while he's playing, I'm going to just give them all to him, okay, just to let you know. So tip jar's open. Okay, I'll let you do your thing, Gunner.
Absolutely.
Do this spidery part one more time. I want to hear it.
There's none.
Just do it one more time. I love it so much.
I have to get my phone to tune it.
Oh, just do that other part. That was really nice. And thanks for the tip.
This part.
Yeah, I love this part. Listen to this. Isn't that beautiful? That's nice, Gunner. Thank you. Somebody gave you a $10 tip.
I play something else, but like I don't have the.
What's the problem?
I play that fast part, but the tuning's wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. Thanks, Gunny. Thanks a lot.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna make you stay in here. I just want you to share that. See if you can get out. Thanks for the encouragement, Bon Ivers. It sounds good, eh? Like he's getting good, and he's been playing that all week, and I've been enjoying it. Oh, they're still listening to because there's a lag. Okay, I guess he's done there because there's a bit of a delay between what you see and what he's doing. So you liked it? It's nice, eh? I love when he plays. Yeah, and he'll get up in the morning and he'll want to play his guitar. He doesn't want to go to school. Wants to play, then he'll come home and he'll play some more and he'll play late at night. He's really into it. Yeah, it's good, eh? Yeah, I'm proud of him. Thanks. Thanks, Bon Ivers. In the end, he just needed to be left alone, mostly, for the most part, you know. He needed me to, like, let him just be himself. That, in his case, that was the trick, you know. I'm gonna have to go and do the laundry. I'm gonna have to go finish it. I just want to stop in and say hi. Show you all my underwear. Where is it now? And just have a little chat. I'm encouraging him to like go out with his dad because his dad will go busking, you know, but they need to like work together. But Aaron says that with, well, man, he says that like the thing with Gunnar is he'll do things when he wants to, which is true, you know, but it's not easy to work with someone who like does everything on their schedule and their time and when they feel like it. It's not like you can be like, okay, you have to be here this time. We're gonna do this song. We gotta practice that. We gotta go out. You know, he just does what he does, right? But I told Gunnar was take your guitar and go outside, you know, because Aaron goes out busking. You missed the underwear party, Five Flames. Ugh. Look, I'll gladly show you one more time. Oh, thank you, Kukum. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm gonna give it to him. He'll be so happy. Thank you. Gunnar, you got a tip. The last time he played, somebody gave him a really big tip, and I gave it all to him. I put it in his bank account. I'm telling him to go out and play in the street, you know, do something useful with your time. I mean, I did it before I had him. I was out there playing keyboards, and Aaron goes out. But Aaron will like work for what do you call it? You know those like gift cards for the stores? Like he'll just take those. Like he's totally fine. Just that's all he's gonna do with it anyway. Take a grocery store card or whatever, you know. He's happy to get whatever he gets. And the summer is good for Aaron because he gets out, you know. He gets out and he likes to entertain people. Like we're all entertainers in this family. I told Gunnar like. Because he has problems with school of like showing up and like doing things on their time. And I said to him, listen, I'm the same kind of person as you are. I mean, I was a good student, but I was never a good employee in the sense like it's always been really hard for me to work on someone else's schedule and just like on someone else's terms, you know. I'm okay with like home care where it's like I'm just kind of doing my thing, but to like go and work in an office or a store or a company, some people just aren't made for that, you know. I said, if you're born to be an entertainer, like both your parents are entertainers, it's not really surprising. I would prefer that he take a different path because I was born just I was always artistic. I was always an entertainer, you know, musician, comedian, basically, and artistic also, like painting and stuff. And my parents were kind of like, yeah, that's really great. It's nice, but you need to like study something else so that in case that doesn't work out. So it's always, but you're always focusing all your energy on your backup plan. So I put all my energy into, well, I mean, I did study art in the end, actually, but you know, you're putting all your effort into what you're going to do in case what you really want to do doesn't work. So instead of putting all your effort into what you really want to do. So I told Gunnar, like, let's try something different with you. Instead of putting all your effort into your backup plan, like for example, I'm going to go study, I don't know, tree cutting or whatever, phrenology or respiratory therapy or what have you, and you put all your time and your effort into doing that, and then try to be a musician and then do this other stuff, like what, in case it doesn't work out, we're probably not going to be a very successful musician because you put all your time into studying, you know, respiratory therapy or whatever it was. So I think people do that quite a lot. Oh, I really want to be an artist or I really want to be a musician. But you put all your time in something else. So then, surprise, it doesn't work out. So with him, I decided, let's just let him do his thing. He's probably not going to pass this year because he was on the honor roll in the first session. In the second session, he missed like 6 weeks of school from like anxiety and not being able to cope. And in this third session, he was there every day, but only like half the day. Some of that was just because I was completely burnt out until we got the bus service. But he's just, yeah, he has a lot of trouble, like just being there and working on their schedule, you know, even though he's capable. So he might not pass. I told him, look, it means you have another year that you get to be a kid. You get to stay in high school and do more music, and there's no pressure on you. So that's the good, so that's the benefit of it, you know. You can always get a regular job if your music career doesn't work, Ben. It's true. Although if you're not qualified for anything else, you probably won't get a very well paying job. But I prefer that, like, instead of doing what I did, where I studied education and music art, but as an educator, I prefer that he just go like full on, just do all the music and just put everything on that and just get as good as he can in what he really likes to do. I mean, worst comes to worst, he'll just live with me and I'll just have to support him for a lot longer. But so what? He should really just give it his best shot. Anyway, I'll show you the underwear one more time. It's just this from La Vie en Rose. Broken record here, repeating myself. These great bras with no thingies here, no closure in the back, no underwires, and I have the two shapes. One has more padding than the other. This one has some more padding. They're really great. They give all the hold, all the shape, and I even got one in pink. So now you know what I'm wearing. Now you know what I'm wearing under my clothes. This one is like almost naked, right? Those are the best, 35 bucks. And then the undies, it's like a compromise between like bikini and a granny. So it covers everything, but it's cute and it won't like constrict you, so you won't get deformed. And this is really pretty, like pink pattern with flowers. And there's this one with fruit. It's so cute. And then they have them in colors and also in black. And the reason I'm showing them to you is I'm not getting paid. I'm not selling them. It's just because I think I've really found the perfect underwear. It doesn't ride up. It doesn't deform you. It's not uncomfortable. It's perfect. It's like the most sensory friendly underwear. And if you really want it really sensory friendly, you can take the pads out, because these do have pads. But there's a way to actually, can you get it out of this one? Maybe this, oh no, yeah, there's a hole here. You can take the pad out. So then it's just really just plain. Very, very, very comfortable. Perfect for summer. So there it is. That's my underwear. So I should go now because I do have to deal with the laundry. But it was really nice. Oh my God, Bud Light. Don't get me started. Bee Eater. I was going to talk about that. I might have to like do a video at some point about the Go Woke, Go Broke. They don't seem to be learning their lesson about it. Don't get me started now. After what happened with Bud Light, Adidas launched a campaign for like a women's swimsuit that has like extra material in the crotch. Why didn't they just call it unisex swimsuit or like all gender swimsuit? It's weird they called it women's. I mean, you know, it's getting a bit ridiculous. And then now the most recent one, it's not Patagonia, it's the North Face. That they have a drag queen that does their summer campaign, and it's what was the slogan? It was like, come out and go camping or something like that. Come out, you know. Put the camp back in camping. I mean, I saw the commercial. I actually thought it was funny. I liked it, honestly. I thought it was hilarious. There's a lot of like puns, you know. I mean, the thing is, like, I really appreciated the humor in the gay commercial, like the drag queen commercial for North Face. But I was thinking, North Face, what are you doing? I don't think that this is your demographic. You're just going to alienate your customers the same way like Adidas and Bud Light are doing, you know. Bizarre. Because Bud Light really regretted it because they lost a lot of money and people just like literally boycotted them. Because Bud Light, it's like, it's the man's beer, you know. It's like a He-Man, lumberjack, you know, plaid shirt wearing bearded He-Man type of guy beer, right? It's not, it didn't seem to me like it was like the most you know, drag queen friendly gay beer. I mean, what, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but let's just say I never thought of, I mean, look, gay people, they can drink whatever beer they want. Yeah, my gay friends, you can drink anything you like. Let's just say. But the issue is that Bud Light had been marketing themselves as like a man's man, He-Man drink. So I think that the problem was, there's such a thing as brand loyalty, right? So you cultivate a certain kind of customer by marketing yourself to a certain demographic, and then you do this for decades, and then they have their brand loyalty to you, and then all of a sudden you come out, the beer company comes out as being, a trans beer or whatever with Dylan Mulvaney, and I think that their customers really didn't appreciate it because people use products, and the idea is that, okay, in the marketing it attaches certain qualities to the product. It's nothing, it's literally beer that tastes like piss in a can. That's all it is. But you know how it is with the commercials, they associate it with attractiveness and adventure or sex, lots of girls, whatever. And so you're buying not just the beer, but you're buying into a little bit of a fantasy, and you're buying into an image, and you're hoping that by then just drinking this beer, it will imbue you with magical qualities of being more attractive and having a better lifestyle. Exactly, that's marketing. Like those commercials for the SUVs where you see them like trekking up the rugged terrain, and it makes it seem like you're more outdoorsy, when realistically most people don't do that with their SUVs. They just pack all their kids in it and whatever and go to work. But that's what marketing is. It's making you feel like you're going to get a little bit of that magic by using their product. So imagine all those guys drinking Bud Light all these years, all of a sudden it's associated with like this trans woman. I just don't understand why Bud Light would think that was a good idea. I mean, do it if you want, but are you surprised at the result? And with Adidas, I guess it's a bit more in between, but I always associated Adidas with also like quite macho, with like the rap industry and breakdancing and sporty types. And to have a swimsuit with like a package, it was a bit surprising. Maybe they're rebranding, but I mean, there is such a thing as pink money. Like the companies do want to get money from the gay community as well. They want to market to them, but I mean, it's a very small percentage, very small sliver. It just seems like, you have such a large market, you've figured it out, you've marketed to them. Now you're going to direct your advertising to this like 1% or less of the population. I mean, I have no idea what macho is. Okay, well, school me then. Maybe you can teach me something. And what was the other one? Oh, the gay camping with the North Face. I mean, I told you, I liked the commercial personally. I thought it was hilarious. I appreciated it. I didn't have a problem with it. Did you? I think it's hilarious. And I think it's actually also really hilarious how people attach so much of their own identity to the brands that they use. Like it's such an integral part of their identity, that they feel like, well, now if you make it gay, it's going to rub off on me, and I don't want to drink that beer anymore. That's kind of funny. Like North Face, now it's drag queen camping gear. I don't think so. But I could just imagine all the rugged dudes that are going to be like, what? But apparently they had the same campaign the year before. What did you think of the North Face campaign with the drag queen? It almost starts to feel like they're trolling. I mean, maybe they're not, but doesn't it start to feel a bit trolly after a while? Because the first one didn't go over well with Bud Light, and then Adidas, there was backlash. And again, like they could have made their swimsuit with a little extra, but why call it a women's suit? It seems like they're just, that's why I don't usually talk about this stuff, because I feel like it's being done in such a way that it's just creating a lot of like arguments amongst people. There would be a way to do it without splitting people up so much. Like if they didn't call it a women's suit, they just made it a swimsuit. It's like they're trolling us, they're trolling everyone, trying to get people to argue about it. And this is so weird because they're a very small percentage, right? And like they should have all the rights. And I'm a libertarian. Like I think people should be able to live the way they want, right? And they should be treated the same way and not discriminated against. But do you ever find it's weird? Like there's so much outcry about whether trans people can get in the bathroom, and there's not the same level of outcry about whether people, disabled people can get in the bathroom, like people in wheelchairs. Like, what about them? They can't get in the bathroom either. And not just the bathroom, but a lot of places. And you don't see blue-haired liberals doing the liberal shriek. Uh-oh, I hear like rabbit fights happening. You don't see the blue-haired liberals doing the shriek because the person in the wheelchair can't get in the bathroom. So like, and there's more people. There's probably more disabled people than there are trans people who can't get in the bathroom, and they can't get in a lot of places. Like when I went to Quebec City with Aaron, like there's a lot of restaurants he can't get in. There's just tons of places you can't get in when you're in a wheelchair. Even they only just recently started adding a few more elevators in the metro. Like you literally can't even take the metro if you're in a wheelchair. So how come nobody's screaming about that? And where's the Bud Light commercial with like the wheelchair person? What about like a Adidas swimsuit for people in wheelchairs? Actually, there are some lines of adaptive clothing. This must be the final frontier, seriously, because there are these lines of adapted clothing for people who do use wheelchairs. And I saw Candace Owens saying, seriously, I don't want to see that. And it was a girl in a wheelchair wearing, I guess, underwear or something like that. So it was a disabled person modeling the adapted underwear that's made for disabled people. And Candace Owens was offended. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And where's the outcry? I mean, she'd probably be offended too if she saw like a gay man in a women's swimsuit. But it's not just the whole like trans thing. It's like, what about people in chairs? Like that's what doesn't make any sense to me. There's so much outcry for them, and nobody seems to care about the people in the wheelchairs. I'm gonna dye my hair blue and like go out there and like do the liberal shriek on campus and say like, it needs to be accessible. Wheelchair lives matter. Yeah, what's to be offended about? Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, we kind of got over the idea of like seeing fat people with bikinis and underwear. Like, that's okay now. They're all over Instagram. But disabled people, whoa. Yeah. I don't know. So that's why I feel like there's something weird going on here. Because if it was really about inclusivity, you would have also the same for disabled people. And yet you don't. It's only trans people. Something's weird, Maybe because disabled people, they don't see them, it's not equally sexy. Maybe because trans people, like these good looking trans people, like it's more sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like for marketing, because marketing, a lot of times it has to be sort of sexy. It has to be appealing. And maybe they just don't have that same, nobody cares about the disabled people. It's just not that interesting. That's what I've been thinking about. I was like, something's weird here. So yeah. Let's see what happens. That's why I don't bother talking about it that much, unless you get me started on it. But anyway, I've been here a long time and I should go deal with my laundry, but it's been lots of fun. It's been fun seeing you guys. So I'm going to have to go. I'm going to be up till 1 in the morning. Oh my God, 1 in the morning drying the clothes, but it's all right. All right, well, I guess that's it. I'm going to go. Thanks a lot for joining me. Thanks for the super chats, you guys. I'm going to give that to Gunnar. Thanks, Kukum and Bon Ivers. Thanks. Have a good night, you guys. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Have a good night. God bless. And I'll see you soon.